In regards to the student-built house on 19th Avenue, we have the developers here, the city staff here, council here, kind of a informational for the neighborhood in regards to the type of house that's going to be built. Maybe go over, what it's going to look like, and just kind of open it up for discussion.
Sure.
Just if nobody does show up, at least it will be on tape, and they can view it. Yep. Oh, nope, I think someone's coming. Yep. I think it's Ronnie's.
Yeah. Make sure Caesar wasn't stuck in something.
So maybe just do introductions real quick. We got Councilmember Peterson.
Do you want me to take the roll? Or?
Yeah, why don't you?
Okay.
We got, ready to take the roll?
Councilmember Peterson? Here. Councilmember Wong? Here. Councilmember Cole?
Here.
Mayor Furlong?
Here, quorum is present. I would do some introductions then.
Sure. Hi, I'll go first. Hi, my name is Eric Lead, and I'm the proud assistant principal at the 916 Career and Tech Center.
All right, well, thanks for having us. My name's Tom Spain. I'm the instructor for the Construction Occupations Program at Northeast Metro 916.
City Manager Brian Frandl.
City Manager Brian Frandl.
Ron Ritchie, Public Works Director.
Randy Miller, Public Works Supervisor.
Let me, we do have a resident here. Yeah. We got Bill. Okay, so here's what we got going on, Bill and Ronnie. We've got everyone here. This is a meeting. It is being videotaped.
Perfect.
Only because there's more than 3 of us council members here. There's 4 of us here, if I can count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. And we have the contractor here. We've got District 916, who's part of that equation. We have the Public Works here, city manager, and then the council. And they're going to go over kind of what the project's going to look like. And this is very informal. We're not sitting back here. We're not
That's what I want.
asking you, if you want to
Yep.
come sit up here.
I might
It's,
scoot up. This is my grandson, everybody.
hey.
It's his birthday, and it's his first city meeting.
Oh, cool,
Very excited to meet this person called the mayor.
cool. Nice to meet you.
That's your mayor. You can say hello, Mr. Furlong. That's
So-
Mr. Furlong. You can sit here.
No, you gotta
Give the big chair.
Give her the big chair.
There you go.
How old are you? 10. Oh, my gosh. Holy cow. You're hitting double digits. Double digits. You remember when you were 10?
So I'm glad that we're here and it's informal, but I
Yep.
will tell you that I got a message from Jackie. She's sick.
Okay,
So what I thought, as many of you know, I will just read the text so we can say it's on the record.
okay,
Is that okay?
Yep.
And she's
Yep.
the neighbor, that way we all know what her concerns were,
yep.
and again, there's transparency.
Okay, and then they might be able to answer some of the questions
Yep.
that
So I'm
are,
just gonna read it verbatim.
okay,
Thank you. She's at the hospital. When are we going to start asking Scott about things? Don't know what that means. I really want to make a big deal about how information about this meeting wasn't shared even on the website. I also want to thank him for being honest about the reason they won't change the design. Is it because they don't want to make any more work for themselves to change the design at the last minute? I believe this is the real reason, not the other reasons given. That is just what I was sent, so that everybody has the same information, okay?
okay.
So thank you for letting me do that.
So I think with that, I think we'll go ahead and look at the plans, present the plans, get all the information out there, and then if you can address maybe some of those same questions. Bill, do you want to come up here? And
No, I'm fine right here, I'm good.
Well, at least come next to me.
Okay, dear. I'm good.
I'm more than happy to move going around the
No,
corner.
it's all good, it's all good.
So,
Is there a way to get these plans on that doc camera?
You got a soft copy?
I mean, as far as, because we have, the CAD drawings on the computer, so we can put them up on the doc camera, because it's so hard to see this if you're in different parts.
It's a soft copy, this one's a digital
Yeah, if they're digital, you
I
can
can make you a participant or
log in.
I can promote you and if you can share your screen. Do you have it on your computer?
On the plans, yes, but I don't know how to participate. Is it a Zoom? Is it
Yep,
just?
log into Zoom.
You're in a real
Go to the city website.
I gotta get on the Wi-Fi first.
You wanna sit in the mayor's chair when we got a little break going on, get a
Sure
picture?
can. You can sit in the mayor's chair and I can take a picture when he comes back. Climb under the table.
Right under the try.
No, come up here. Right here. Hey, can I have a raise?
Oh, and the gavel and all. So Eric's gonna try to participate, because he's got the plans on his phone. He's gonna try to connect with the Zoom, I think.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Share screen.
Wow.
Now do that for me when you're older. You wanna take a picture
You
with
could,
him?
you could take my,
Because he gets to share this.
He's got better hair than you, Mayor.
And me. Oh.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
There you go.
Beautiful hair. I'd have to pay big money.
Mayor Mason. All right, thank you.
Well, you're only 10 months.
Now what are y'all gonna do when you hear that he's mayor in 20 years?
Great. Hold those pictures up front.
Yep.
so I think we're going to try to get them on
All
the
right, so we're gonna
Zoom.
start with the plans.
Yep. I don't know if we're going to be able to get them.
While they're doing that, I can throw some general construction questions so you can process them. I have no problem with the design. My questions are retaining wall on that property on behalf of just the whole community. I don't wanna see anything happening 10 years from now. How are you pulling a slump for grade for drainage? Or how are you compensating for that drainage with that there? Those are the things I'm concerned about. Does that make sense?
Well, with the retaining wall issue?
Well, with the driveway, I haven't seen the actual design yet, but if we get an enormous amount of rain, where's the drainage going, including like gutter systems and such like that? Does that make sense?
It does, and so there is a certificate of survey that shows the drainage.
What kind of home, what are we, I don't know.
Single,
Do
or,
you know how to read?
single level,
Nine.
Single level, graveler.
Single?
single level.
Yep.
And the original plan that was proposed for this property was almost 2,000 square feet on one floor.
Yes, correct.
And so we've had the plans redrawn, and now we're down to, well, I'll round it up. It's technically 1,398, so I'll call it a 1,400 square foot ramble.
Yeah,
It has 2 bedrooms on the main floor,
yeah.
full basement, 8-foot tall board foundation wall. So your ceiling height in the basement is going to be 7'10", just a little bit under 8 foot. The main floor will have 9-foot ceilings. The roof slope is a 6/12 slope, so it's not like really steep,
Right.
things like that. On the main floor, it's 2 bedrooms, an owner's suite, and off the owner's suite, it has an owner's bathroom and a walk-in closet. And then it has a second bedroom, kind of like, I hate to say the word kid's bedroom, but
Yeah, right,
kind of like
right.
the kid's bedroom. As you walk into the front door, you have the living room right away, and then you have open kitchen, and behind that a dining room. So it has dining room, kitchen, living room, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, walk-in closet for the owner's suite, and then there's also the laundry room on the main floor.
Is there room for a garage? I don't think so. Is
There is a
Right
garage.
here. Okay, so when you're looking at it, I'm sorry. So when you're looking at it, here's my tax rate, and this is actually it. So you're seeing, here's Jackie's house here. They're gonna have a
Right,
So
right.
that's what I was talking about. Because the design itself negates the concerns that we were given about privacy then. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna keep this for a minute. But thank you, go ahead, sorry.
Okay.
So
We're
there's,
just waiting for the plans to be up on the
Yep, yep.
screen.
and the garage. So there's a garage flooring right there. And then the proposed house around it. So it's pretty basic.
Oh. Oh.
Sense.
Here you go, Bill.
And then can
There you go.
you
So
widen
this
that?
is actually the floor plan.
Oh, I got it.
And then
No,
this is
on
gonna
the,
be the
kind of like
design.
halfway down on the right-hand side, on the left of the text, where it says full sign, there's an arrow. Can you click that arrow and get rid of that? Can't believe I'm teaching you technology.
I think you can drag that sidebar.
And so, can you get rid of that or hide that? Okay. Minimize that, hit that arrow.
You don't have to sit there, you can sit.
Yep, there you go. Makes it just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And then if we can try to shrink that down, so we can see all four, there we go, like that. Is it okay if I go up and?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
no,
I
it's-
have a laser pointer with me, so I have to use. my finger.
maybe look at this one, because they're looking,
Oh,
which
okay.
one are you looking at?
I'm looking at
I'm going
that.
that way.
This one, all right,
If you get bored, you can get up and go.
And this is
Or
916
you can
is
watch
doing
me.
this project?
the school district.
Yeah.
The school.
And this must be our
11, 12.
11,
So
12?
is it Century College that it's
Well,
called? Or is it other
916
colleges?
is a high school
So you're doing the
house
high
inside a Century.
Yep, okay, so I,
So it'll be the high school students building this in partnership with Century College. They have an interior design program, and they do the interior design selections. And then St. Paul College, they build our custom cabins for this home. So
okay,
they kind of use it for training as well.
okay.
So it'll be the 916 high school program, obviously the city of North St. Paul, Century College's interior design program, and St. Paul's College's cabinet making program. So those are the four partners.
And this is our 11th house we've built
With this program.
with this program.
When is this gonna start?
To start, I sent the schedule over to Brian and Ron, I think Friday, I sent it to you. So this is what we have on our schedule. Permit by the 17th of September. So I submitted for building permit last Friday. And then I send it to the city of North St. Paul. It gets uploaded on computers and then it goes to Minspect, that's who does your inspections. Okay, then they do a plan review. And then typically it takes 4 to 5 days to get the permit. So I factored in here a week push
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And so my plan is to get the permit by the 17th, which is Friday of this week. And then I want it to be staked out by the 24th of September, where the surveyors come in, they stake out where the house is gonna go. And then the demo and dig, we wanna have that kind of simultaneously. We don't wanna go in there and tear that house out and leave it sit for a week, and then somebody else comes in and digs out the rest of the basement. So we've got it set up on the 27th and 28th to demo and dig, 2 days to tear that house out, take out the foundation. We'll be bringing in dumpsters, getting that old house
Yeah.
out of there, taking all that out. And then on September 29th, the footings are scheduled to go in.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I signed up for a conference for construction teachers on the 30th and the 1st, that Thursday, 30th of September and the 1st of October. And so Mike Anderson's probably gonna be out there with his construction crew, Mike Anderson Concrete and Forming, on the 30th of September to put the footings in. And then on the 30th of September, we have it scheduled to have them come in and they put crushed rock in the hole.
Yeah.
Either with a rock spit or Bobcat,
Yeah.
but we'll get rock in the hole. And then the foundation to be installed either that Friday, October 1st, or Monday, October 4th, kind of rain days and scheduling with Mike. I plan on being out there with the students on October 4th.
Okay.
Okay, that's.
So I know we're gonna bounce around because it's informal. Just so you guys know, this is my son Joey. We live on the south side there. I totally support the construction, but with our community, I think, and I had shared with Terry, it's nice if we could get a ballpark like that we could give to the surrounding community members. For the simple reason, the example is Joey has autism, and without warning, when that tree came down, it was the ugliest day I've had in probably 5 years. So, and then if we could have communication where if there is a large change, like demo day, I'm not asking to stop anything, I'm asking to be able to develop a plan for him. And just so you understand, the house to the west has an autistic, teenage young man as well. So we just wanna work with the, and then I also look at things like when big equipment are coming by, Billy comes down that street every day. So if he needs to plan an ulterior route, we wanna be able to proactively do that for all of the community, does that make sense? It's just, so it runs more smooth, because all of us did a dance when you guys finally got that down. And we wanna support having a nice home in our neighborhood. But if we could work on communication, 'cause like I said, during demo day, I'll make a plan that he's not gonna be hanging out, does that make sense? Depending on what kind of construction days it is when I look, he may go to my sister's that day, you know what I mean? So that it doesn't become a horrible event in his life, which could have long-term effects.
Who would be the, like the main person to email? It would be you, and then you
Me.
could communicate all the neighbors?
I think that's what we're gonna talk about tonight too, is how we wanna do that chain of communication and have it consistent. And it's not something we haven't done before, right, Candy? And
Right.
well, not the new people, but
Right.
we did it before with the streets and stuff, where we just opened up a forum of communication via email, and some person took it on. Sorry. Apologize. So we'll figure that out. I don't think it has to be real formal. We'll just do it like we did the streets if everybody's comfortable with it.
Yeah, here's my card.
Okay, so you'll be my contact?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
And like I said, I don't mind taking it on. You guys know I'll knock down the streets and see who wants it via email, and we can just come up with a
Right.
plan for communication.
And we really want this to be a positive
Positive.
thing for the neighborhood, because, like
Oh,
you
it
said,
is.
we did a
That's what I
dance
said.
when we got this all
Did you
through.
see everybody in my backyard when that
Right.
happened?
So,
I mean, I've been putting up with this, here, I pushed, Candy, I talked to everybody, and it was out of control, we finally got her out of there.
Yeah.
And then, but then Dudek played with me for 2 years, you know, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. He played me all along, he's gone, and I still never got an answer from him. The lumber prices, this one, it was never, let's get going.
Oh.
He just kept on putting me off of it. I mean,
Well,
now
I don't
I'm
know.
excited.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing going, I'm
That's why I
excited.
invited Billy as well. I caught all the neighbors I could about this, because again, it's the miscommunication that was happening with previous members.
yeah,
That we've already acknowledged, but now we have a fresh start. So we just want to make sure that we're starting fresh
Yeah.
in the community with a positive communication system that is very transparent.
right.
Are you thinking like weekly, or just when
I
something
think-
big happens?
I think we can kind of just talk about that whenever you guys want, how you want to do it. I think it's going to be the big things that would be a noise disruption or a traffic disruption. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to freak out when you roll the trusses in with a big truck. It's going to take a
Okay,
half
that
hour.
was my next
You know what I
question,
mean?
Like lumber delivery.
Yeah, no, but when the cement trucks come in, depends on how many come in, you know what I mean? But when you demo that, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's certain times in construction that are very disruptive, but it's a reality. So as long as we can communicate to the neighbors, maybe the street will be shut down for a day, an hour, whatever, where we can just be proactive as a community and say, hey, this is happening, aren't we excited about the house? You know, but if, you're in a hurry and you drive down the street and it's closed, you go, oh. But if you know 2 days beforehand, you go, oh, yeah. So we're just keeping a positive tone in our community.
Well, I think what's gonna happen is there's gonna be some major things happening at first.
Yep,
Once they start framing it in,
then we're good.
that's when we're done. I mean, 'cause,
Parked on the street is kind of the worst of it, I think, after that.
They can pull in my yard, I don't care.
yeah, you got room.
I got room. I
So
own the
we'll
block.
talk about a pod off.
Yeah,
I own the block across the street.
oh, okay, you got that beautiful.
You own the house.
I
And
own
the block.
I own the one house in the block.
How long will this take? What do they think?
This will
Just-
take all school year.
It's gonna take a
Yeah,
year.
that's fine, I mean,
Well,
it's all
so
good.
I'm gonna say, mid-June we'll be done.
Okay.
That's kind of our academic calendar.
Yep.
that we work on.
But try to frame it up before the snow, right.
Trying to where you can get
So I
into your,
figured.
yep.
Yeah,
And once, the weather hits and we're inside, our goal is to get the outside done as quickly as possible, get it weather tight. Windows and doors in, shingles on, then we'll be inside doing some more framing and things like that. If I can get into problems with scheduling, I have St. Paul
So I think we've kind of covered that. I don't know how you guys want to figure out, you're new to us with the whole, how we're gonna do that communication, who's gonna, you know, if you're gonna give me the construction information. And then with the city, we gotta maybe have it, even if it's just a separate little meeting, how we wanna do that communication, or if we wanna do that here. I'm open.
Can you CC the city?
On what?
Well, when you send an email out for notification?
I can, definitely, yeah.
So it'll be, I think he'll be the point person.
So you're gonna be our point person.
And then he can
CC me with you
put all of
guys.
us on it.
Yep, and then what I can do is just go in the, you know, the surrounding community, and if anybody calls you and say if I, you know, if I miss somebody or whatever, you can have them contact me.
Yep.
Not like you guys don't all have my phone number.
And I would say, you know, if we put a point person, maybe Candy on it as the council rep or whatever.
Okay.
That way,
Okay, cool.
because once this starts going, we're not
Yeah.
gonna be there, you know.
Okay.
We're not gonna be there, but I think if Candy's on it, you have
Yeah, we
communication.
work well together.
And then she could, you know, maybe,
Yeah, so we can do that, and
Are
then
you
between
okay
you
with
and I,
that, or-
work on the communities, okay?
I go down 19th about 4 times.
and that way if there is a problem, you yell at her and not us.
Oh,
Here's more cards for me.
Okey dokey, Mayor.
If you wanna give me like a.
No, Katie, she's been keeping me updated on this whole thing, so this was good tonight. We needed
Um,
this.
Or do you want it to go to you and then to ask
Candy,
everyone
do
else?
we want him to send it to us and then we'll distribute to the city, or do you want him distributing?
I think Tim distribute it and have Candy be part of it and,
So us two, and then we'll handle distributing it to the neighbors it affects.
Okay.
Kind of like a community liaison thing.
Okay.
And just make sure Public Works is on there, myself and Randy.
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
Just so I know what's going on, going in the loop, and
And then if something comes up, you guys can always just knock on the door or text me or call me and say, we had a change, or, oh, a pipe burst, or, you know,
Yeah.
something that would,
in this way too, you're not involving all of us.
right.
You got Candy,
Don't
As
have
long
to.
as
if she's got a problem,
everybody's
she can
comfortable with
contact us.
Absolutely. That way we're not doing that he said, she said thing either.
Right.
Candy calls me all the time, so.
I call Candy all the time.
That's okay.
It's real
That's a
easy.
good
It's
thing.
Hey
Ronnie
Terry, where are these
Springer,
11 houses, like
RONNIE.
Oakdale, Maplewood, North St. Paul, where are these other?
Springer,
All in North St. Paul,
That's what I was wondering.
all in North St. Paul.
LER.
And they're,
First one was on 14th and Helen.
I
What's
call
that?
Bill Lockman House. 14th and Helen was the first one.
The last two is right.
No, I can just, if you wanna get a hold of me, I'll give you my phone number and,
Right, right,
uh,
right.
And
try to
then right
call
up
if I
by
don't
the
answer,
Winter
text me, but I'm
house.
retiring in November. So then I should be pretty
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, okay.
651-283-5423. And if anything would emergency come up during the day, until November 8th, when I retire, you can just knock on the door, the PCA's there with Joey, and say, something happened or we're getting loud, and then at least she's prepared.
Right. And same thing, if you see concerns with our students, like let's say there's litter or.
I'm not worried about that as much as I'm worried about contact if we catch somebody vandalizing. You know what I mean? If I'm not sure if somebody should be there or not. Is it gonna be a local police call, or are we gonna have a contact call you to say, should somebody be there?
Local police. We
That'd be
should
the
be there outside
Okay.
between 7:45 and 2:15.
and you'll know if it looks suspicious,
Oh, you
I
know,
would
I'll
assume.
know.
Don't call if you see a Public Works truck there.
Can I drive a school vehicle, a white van?
Okay.
People call it a creeper van.
Yeah, creeper. Just so you know, it happens all the time. There was a blue truck on the block, and I get a text from a neighbor. There's a funny blue truck in the, and what'd I do? I walked down the block. I'm like, well, let's go find out.
You have a police car.
Ronnie, what about where your camper is? Could them guys park anything?
I don't care where they park it.
See, like right across the street.
If I need to sign
there's
something,
lot
I
is
don't care.
big right there.
If they need
I
to
take
like curb
advantage
it,
of it, she says,
or if
yeah,
they wanna
you know.
take, if you guys wanna take that, as long as you're okay with it,
I am for sure.
the back
Use
40,
it.
use
Use
it.
it.
Well, thank you for that offer. As far as the classes go, we have 3 classes throughout the day. Our first class starts at 8:05 and goes to 9:50. Now, that group is primarily North St. Paul, Parton, students are actually provided transportation by a bus.
Sure.
The bus stops, drops the kids off, and the bus continues down the road. Some of the students drive. And I asked today how many cars are you talking about, and I kind of got a hand in a quick count, it's like 12.
So
that kind of
we might
raises-
remedy that if the city's okay with that, because there might be some reseeding needing to be done on my corner. But maybe the city decides, I mean, because they can actually access that by Billy's house, if you want to use, weather permitting, obviously, the back 40, they could park there like a lot.
So you don't think parking on the street would be,
They, maybe, I don't know, 12 cars,
That street's narrow.
that's a
since they
pretty,
redid
I
it.
mean,
It's very
it's
narrow.
pretty narrow now.
I mean, yeah.
But it's nice to have them options, you know, both lots or stuff.
I think if you guys communicate and if you see that there's a problem, you know, with all the cars there,
Yeah.
we won't know until it
The only thing
happens.
I'll tell you is if the kids tear it up, we just throw some dirt down and throw some seed on it.
The other option I thought of, because one of the students in my class belongs to that church.
Yeah,
But I think they're gonna be doing that, aren't they?
they're doing that whole lot.
They're doing that
soon.
whole lot.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they staked it up beautifully.
And the other parking lot that's pretty far away, and then the students have to cross intersections and by high school laws, I don't think.
I mean, I think as long as, if it comes to parking, tell them to park on the south side of 19, because that's my side of the block where there's no other houses that would be disrupted.
Yep.
It's right in front of the house too.
Yep.
And it's literally right in front of the house. Is that okay? I mean, it's a public street,
Right, Candy,
but
I
if,
mean, that'd be a
if
good
you
idea.
guys feel like
Yeah,
it's
there's
getting
no houses.
crowded, have you ever been down there yet, down the whole block? So past the forest, there's that open lot. I own that too. So that's where like they could literally pull in on the west, yeah. It's just an open lot.
She faces 19th.
Okay.
Or she faces Helen.
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 Yeah,
Helen.
my front door faces Helen.
And their backyard goes all the way to the church.
Right to my house, yeah.
And like I said, helping the community, I don't have a problem with it, it's just if it gets tore up, we just need to throw some dirt, regrade it,
big deal,
throw seed down, as long as the city doesn't yell at me for looking at you.
My personal preference would be to keep them off of private property.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of issues of one student hits another student's car as they back up, and then it's like.
But at least you have that option,
Yeah,
how you
I
feel
appreciate
about
the
it.
option.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to look at that. And, so my first time blocked, that'll probably be the biggest challenge, because of having those cars. My second time blocked, that starts at 10 and goes to 11:45. And that's primarily the South Washington County School District's park, Woodbury and Eastridge.
I think we wanna communicate that in our initial communication, Candy, don't you? Where the school, these are the hours the students will be there, there will be student parking. They are gonna park on the south side if we ask the students to do that, so we're not disrupting the front of the other houses on that block. I think that'll stop some negativity.
And then mailboxes and all that.
Senior citizens then.
Yeah, and then we got mailboxes on that side, so I think if we could agree that they have to park on the south side, and then if we could just in the first communication with the general calendar for construction that, and I can print it out and you and I can hand them out too. Tell them kinda, these are a school day project, so it's not gonna happen the week of Christmas kind of thing, or, you know, and these are the hours that you would expect that construction would happen, and these are the noisy days. You know what I mean? This is demolition day, and we can apologize if for inconvenience and be excited about the new construction. And I think that would be a good start, and then you and I as the liaisons for communication or complaint.
So just,
Oh, gotcha.
ask again for clarification. Typical, like a lumber truck coming in.
You'd be okay with that, but imagine the 3 chainsaws going at once with my windows open. You know?
So we're looking at a big piece of equipment being there for more than an hour or
Yep,
something like
yep.
that. That's what you really hear about.
Yep, now if we were doing it inside my house, I'd be in trouble with drills. Does that make sense? Sawzalls will get me kicked out of my own home. So, those types of noises, but if I know ahead of time, like I said, I make sure the windows are closed. But the big noises, like demo days, for sure. I wanna make sure that we let Jackie know for her children's benefit. You can go get them, or you can just say thank you to the mayor. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it'll be common sense noise things, and to have the schedule of activity where it obviously will be a daily routine, then, we can plan around that. You know what I mean? We're not gonna change it, but we can plan around it. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of naysay, I think we're just gonna have a little,
No,
you know, about an inconvenience or something, but Candy and I can feel that.
So starting off with the schedule.
Yeah, I didn't look at it yet, I'm sorry.
That kind of has the dates of what we're looking for. So the first, just lack of better terms, noisy day would be September 27th and 28th. That's a demo and dig. I suppose, Ron, we should coordinate this a little bit about that pod being moved up there. So if we put the pod up there, would we want it there before that, or is that gonna get in the way?
No, I'd say we do it after if you don't need anything out of there. I think if we can have, because there's not a whole lot of room to move around on that site. We're gonna leave the driveway in, so we can drop dumpsters on there, and then we can bring the pot up there in, in a half hour, so.
I'll need it when the students show up.
Yep.
That's where all their safety equipment is and stuff
Yep.
like that. So that's, if we start on October 4th day, I'm not sure if you can get up there that morning of October 4th.
Yeah, so if we drive up there with a loader to deliver that, is that something we need to be notified of?
Depends on how loud it is. Just
It's
regular pod
not
drop,
really loud.
just regular pod drop.
Yeah, with just big forks on it.
No, it should be fine.
No.
No.
It'd be
Things like
in all
that,
there
no,
in a half hour.
if he sees the disruption, the way it works with his is we get heightened, we get agitated, we get panicked, we try to shut all the noise out, and then we have a meltdown. So if it's like.
So the
5
longer the worse.
Right, that's why the tree was like, oh God. And by then, when he's heightened, I can't redirect a behavior, and this is typical with most autism, when you get heightened, you can't redirect the behavior. Well, you know, you can try your hardest, but when it continues, when the antecedent continues as you're trying to redirect it, you're not typically gonna get anywhere with it. Like, I couldn't say, let's go to lunch, or, you know what I mean? So as long as I know about it, then like I said, I can plan around it.
Okay, so you were talking about saws, saws are okay, or saws?
When you're using circular saws and stuff outside, those kind of things, just give me a heads up so I make sure windows are shut, or if it's, you know, when you're framing it up, then if I know framing date, I'll be like, okay, pay attention, Ronnie. You know, maybe make a plan for him to be at movies, you know, things like that. So then I can schedule around it, do you see what I'm saying? Community events, or going to my sister's, or like demo days, I might have my niece just come get them. That way I don't have to worry about it.
What about a generator? It's kind of got like a gas pump.
I know what a generator is, I have two. Depends on the generator, but I don't think it'll bother him as long as it's consistent. Yeah.
Terry, what about this home when it's all said and done? It's gonna go for I mean, just fill me in a little on that.
It's
It'll-
not Habitat for Humanity.
Nope, this will go on the market.
Okay.
It'll go right on the market, and it'll be a market rate house.
Yep.
And we usually take bids for it,
Yep.
or have in the past. We've done a couple different ways of doing it, but usually take bids, take the highest bidder, and
That
it's
works.
usually a local person.
Is it?
Mhm.
Do we have any idea what this house is gonna go for, said and done?
I'm probably gonna say in that 360, 370.
That's what I was
Well, thank you for helping us.
You know, hopefully we add value to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's-
It's not gonna hurt it because.
So I hope this doesn't, I don't know, but this has been kind of tumultuous, and I apologize for that. I think this open communication, if it would've happened earlier, could have prevented some of it. That's something I think we have to look at as a city, though, not the project, about being proactive about communication. And I think this is just a learning lesson for future projects. Kind of like the street was, kind of like the trees were. Now we have to look at how we want to have communication with these projects, with the constituents around it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the project itself, what size project it is, and how it's going to impact the neighborhood. If it impacts the neighborhood, I tell you what, when communication opens up is when that happens.
Yeah.
When you guys see it's gonna disrupt you guys. You know,
Right.
we're always just kind of moving ahead.
Yeah.
We're trying to do our things, you know, we're not sending letters out to everybody, you know, that we're
No,
doing
that's not
something.
what I'm saying, it's just getting that communication.
Correct, but I think the communication starts when the project is moving forward and the neighborhood sees it. That's when I think it starts elevating.
And Candy, you know what, Jackie, next to her, we talk all the time. We gotta tell her, like, the positive things.
Right,
She gets so worked up
Right.
on the little things.
Right.
This is positive,
Right.
and we
Well,
gotta let her
that's-
know that.
That's
Right.
what I think,
know.
if we work on a chain of communication, you know, we can address that positive.
Right.
I think part of that is also lack of knowledge that causes that. So, I think we've established a good open communication, it'll basically be us three working out what that looks like, and then Candy and I will figure out how we're gonna let everybody know what's going on.
and let's look at the plan.
Let's look at this plan.
Let's see what it looks like.
Thank you.
So this plan was drawn, this is the second plan for this property. The initial one was pretty big. all right? And then the issue we had with that original plan was that it exceeded the impervious area. It was kind of too big for the lot based on the proximity of Silver Lake, I believe. And so we redrew the plan, downsized it quite a bit. So this is just the elevation that we're looking at right now. Where it happened, oh, there it is. It doesn't work on the screen, I'm sorry. Oh. Technology at its finest works there, but not on the screen. Okay, so I'm back to pointing, I guess. Eric, you're my wingman here, so swing on over, thank you. So this is the front elevation. It does have garage left, and what that does for us is allow the left side elevation, this side right here, there's no such thing as a perfectly drawn plan, and there's two errors on this plan. First of all, there's no windows here, that's the garage, and so that'd be facing west. Okay. This window is here, it's just some small awning windows, that's in the owner suite bathroom, but they're 2 foot by 4 foot, and they're up pretty high. Kind of wanted to give both homes some privacy on that. On the right side of the elevation, that'd be this one up here, that's where we've got the 2 windows in the living room. And so now they're going to be facing east, or basically that retaining wall area. And then these are the 2 window wells for the 2 lower level bedrooms that will be finished. And so they'll also be on the east side. So what we're trying to do is create some usable space between those 2 houses.
Yeah.
That one currently on the west side, the setback off of the property line to that existing home is 3.8 feet. Of course, that house was built back in the 60s, I'm assuming.
Yes, it was.
Things probably weren't watched very well. It should have been 6 feet off of there. It's 3.8, I believe. And so what we did is we moved the house a little bit farther over from that property line. So if somebody in the future wants to put up some type of fencing or privacy hedge, something like that, at least they have some usable space to do that on. This is the real elevation. This is the patio door that goes off of the dining room. So this will allow the people in this house at least some little bit of outdoor dining space, a concrete slab there, something like that. So again, I'm trying to separate the homes as much as I can, but not, put up walls and stuff like that or big fences. So that will give these people some outdoor privacy, and it would also give the neighbor, Jackie? Okay, Jackie, her outdoor privacy and space with her family as well. As far as the location of the driveway, it's driveway left. That's primarily due for drainage, to get the water out of there. As of now, the drainage is to the street, to the front, because we don't want to put natural water runoff onto Jackie's property. That's why we put the driveway, garage there, so everything runs around to the other side and onto the street. And then we also,
We have to let her know that, that's like.
That's one of the, like I said, this is one of those points we really want to shoot home, that the pitch is going to be away from her property so that the runoff will go into the street and not into her property.
right. So-
Years ago, when they were gonna put that, when they had Jackie's home put in there, they weren't even gonna put another house. That was just a last minute thing to put one more in there. That was gonna be open years ago, like 59, 60.
Oh, okay.
They put another little one in there, but I know what you mean. You don't have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the fence and a few things like that, it'd be just fine.
Yeah, and personally, I don't like fences. because it
What?
puts barriers up, but if you have a dog, you need them. If you have little children, you need them, I get that. So I don't at this time have any plans to put up a fence, you know, like a wood fence or privacy fence at this time. We do have some monies allocated for landscaping in the budget, and possibly, you know, other than sod and stuff like that, maybe some shrubs and things to go on.
Backyard's fairly deep there, correct?
No.
Is there gonna be any
It's not- I don't
grading in the
remember.
backyard for landscaping?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Okay,
the
I just wanna
certificate,
put this
sorry.
as something to note that there's an existing fence in the back that we've had issues about damage. from the
Is that on the rear? Is that on the rear property?
Rear west. Rear west. It's I believe it's Cyclone.
It's on her, Jackie's yard.
I think it's right on the border, that's why maybe we wanna just take a quick, you know what I mean?
Is that up on the hill?
Kinda at the top of that, what you might call it a grade, I don't know what you'd call that mess.
Did she take that out, Ronnie?
I don't believe she did, she did a
Oh.
portion of it out when the neighbors broke it. Okay,
Yeah,
so.
we took off, there's a wood fence.
Oh, that's so
That
fast.
was up
Yeah,
that
so
we
there was a
removed.
wood fence here, and then back here on this rear corner is, I believe, a partial cyclone fence currently. I don't believe they took it out, because it was damaged by the previous owners. So that was, a little bit of contention there when that incident happened. Maybe we need to just relook at it, because I don't believe she took it out. Billy, did she say she took it out?
No, I'm thinking it was a wooden fence.
It was partial wooden fence they took out.
We removed a wood fence that was up there, that was tipped over onto her fence.
Yeah, so that's what caused the damage, and then was the wood fence on her fence. So that's something to be aware of, because these are the little glitches I would see causing
Should I
negative.
just give her an idea what's going on?
So if you're doing
She
landscaping
asked me, and I'm
or regrading, because I really haven't gotten to the
It's
back
right
of the
up
big mess,
against-
so we can see what that looks like for
Very good
drainage as
idea.
well.
you know what I mean?
I'm just
Can't think
trying to
of
be
her name.
proactive here. not cause
I know
more
who you mean, but I
problems.
don't.
She's,
Right, so as of now.
She stays pretty quiet there.
Water drainage, but these arrows are hard to see.
Right.
The water runs out this way, out this way.
Right, but like I said, I'm concerned if they're, during construction, we might need to just be cautious about that, be proactive, take pictures and such.
Yeah, and also we'll probably need to put in some drain sock in there. for
Probably.
erosion purposes. Like filter sock.
We have a bunch of them.
Yeah, that we can place there. And I'm gonna recommend that, you know, that we put in a snow fence. Temporary, just to keep any, when we start putting the shingles on, you know, the pegs
Yeah.
are tearing off and
Yeah.
keeping it going down the block.
I think that would be a good recommendation.
And so that is something I think, and I do have a bunch of snow fence, but I don't have a whole lot of stakes. I have a bunch of people that can put the stakes in.
We can get you some stakes.
Okay.
I think erring on the side of caution will be, the most proactive means to use.
And I think it also give my students the visual of where the property line
Yeah.
is. I mean, there's a retaining wall there, but I could see a student backing up and all of a sudden taking another step back,
And then going back,
going back.
yeah.
And we'd probably put that a foot onto this property, you know, so it's like
Sure.
a barrier
That's
there,
good
a
down.
neutral
You know
zone.
what you're doing, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You're the boss.
I think that would work out.
I think
well.
that would be a
So-
positive.
And we, as far as that snow fence going in, we probably want to demo first.
Yeah.
And get that out of there, and then put in the snow fence and then the filter sock along that side.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the next?
I
Well,
think it's
first,
gonna be beautiful.
are there any other questions on these elevation plans? Okay, and it does have, and this is kind of my passion, when I have these homes designed, is I always like to put in a front porch area. Kind of invites that neighborhood conversation. Seems we all live in our backyard, but I like to have a little bit of a deck out there so you can sit, roof over your head, sit out there in the rain, stuff like that. So no other questions on the elevations, and we'll go to the main floor plans. All right, I wish this would work. So this is the lower level or basement floor plan. I'm gonna stand over here. I'm in everybody's
Oh,
way,
you're
I
fine.
apologize.
No,
I'm
you're
not
fine.
sure what's a good way to stand.
You're fine.
Do not be
It's not like I do this all day in front of a bunch of students, right? I should be acclimated to this. So this is the garage. It's 22 feet wide, 23.6 deep. And then with the lower level, we start off on the front. This is where the deck is that I talked about earlier, just that front porch area. This room right here, we're not gonna finish this part because I wanna give the new homeowners the option to make that room whatever they wanna make it. They might wanna make an exercise room, a storage room. They can't make it a legal bedroom because they don't have a window well there. With 2 lower level bedrooms, I think we're fine with that. Total 4 bedrooms in the house. There's a door that comes into this room. This is probably gonna be where the water and sewer connect come through, Public Works guys, is that right? I think the water and sewer's out here, and that's an old connection, so that's gonna have to be put in new. And so there'll be another day that we need to inform people about, that they'll be coming in, taking out that old water service and old sewer service and putting in new. So they'll be digging up to about, 12, 14 feet off the curb line? Yeah, and so what we're trying to do is get in there, get all that stuff done, rather than having some, yeah, well, that's the other part too. We do live in Minnesota, but just trying to minimize the impact it has on the community by getting this stuff done right away. And then, footings, tear the house out, demo, dig, footings, foundation, water sewer connect, backfill. Then we're kind of on our own schedule after that.
And I think after that large stuff is done, it'll be not, it won't be, with framing and stuff shouldn't bother him unless, something, big happens. But I think once we get through this, it'll be a little bit of a relief as well.
Yeah, and the students do start off having to know how to use a hammer. It's kind of important. They all want to jump on the nail guns right away, but we as school people have that liability if they get hurt, and so we kind of gradually expose them to this stuff. So they'll be hand nailing it first. The I-joist system will be hand nailed in. The floor deck can be hand nailed in. Old school. And then we'll probably get out the pneumatics when they start building the exterior walls. And then what I like to do is floor system, exterior walls, including garage, and then it's kind of unorthodox, but I like to put the roof on right away.
Right, no, it makes sense, especially in the winter.
Yeah, and then I come back and do the interiors, is how I like to do that. And so back to the lower level, we have bedroom number 3 right here. That'll be finished. Bedroom, and this is the second mistake in the plan, bedroom 3. So this is actually bedroom 3, that's bedroom 4, it's just mislabeled. This bedroom will be finished. As you come down the stairs, we kind of have this common area at the bottom of the stairs, just so you have some room to turn around and move a little bit. As you go down this hallway, this is the mechanical room. Furnace, water heater, sump pump discharge is located here. And then after looking at, we're 8 feet off the property line, and Jackie's house is 3.8, so we got 11.8 feet in between the two homes. I think it'd probably make a lot of sense to take our AC condensate and put it back here. And so it's not between the two houses. I'm not sure if Jackie sleeps with her windows open or closed. Ideally, I'd like to put it here, from a cost perspective with the line sets. Well, I think we'll put it back here and just to keep some privacy. This is a big family room all through here, and that is, I can't read these numbers very well. Can you read them off the computer?
No way.
I think it's like 14.8, 14.9, something like that, by, well, I've got a plan right here. 14.9 by 26 feet. So it's a good-sized family room. You can compartmentalize that. Almost have a TV gaming stuff here and a game table over here. So as far as the lower level goes, finished bedroom, finished family room, finished 3/4 bath, utility unfinished, this multi-purpose room unfinished, and then this common area down here will be finished. And again, that's an 8-foot ceiling height down there. When we get to the main level, sorry, I gotta step in front of you, Candy, all right.
Do you want to try and zoom it in a little bit?
Oh yeah, you can probably expand just that part of the plan. You can probably even go,
It's going to run out.
oh, it's gonna run off top and bottom.
Is it dimensional?
Okay, so you come into the front door, here are the stairs, and these go down, this is half wall. This is the living area. That's why these two windows will be facing east, I guess, to get my directions right. If you notice in the plan, there's no windows in the garage facing west. Two areas on the plan. This is the open kitchen, and when I drew this by hand, pencil and paper, it probably looks familiar to the homes that we did previous, but so I kind of took this part, the kitchen, living room, dining room. So I like this open floor plan concept, half wall, dining room back here, and that's the patio door that goes out to the back. As you come down this hallway, this is where the washer and dryer, common closet. This is a pantry. Thank you with the cursor. This is a pantry. The kitchen, it's nice. It's U-shaped, but there's no upper cabinets here, so I was concerned about storage, so I just put in a pantry unit here for the crock pots and all that good stuff. We had room to put in a closet, more of a guest closet, servicing people coming through the front door. As you come through the garage, washer and dryer right away, this closet. I'd love to put in a bench, but just can't sneak it in there. As you go down this big hallway, bedroom number 2, that referred to as the kids' room, I guess, but that's kind of that bedroom for the additional family members. This would be the owner suite bedroom, and it has a 3/4 bath. This is that awning window that we saw on the left side elevation that is 2 foot tall and 4 foot wide. There are 2 double 2-foot awning windows in there. So that's the owner suite bath, and then the owners have a walk-in closet. So this dead space right here, this is where the radon vent pipe will go up through the roof, so we need to allocate that. That's right below that mechanical room. The roof slopes a 612, and so this is 42 feet coming across. So half of that is 21. Mr. Math Guy, 21 times 6.
Ooh, 126.
126, that's why I brought him. Okay. 126 inches plus the hap line, height above plate, another 6 inches. So we're looking at about 132 inches for the roof height above the plate line.
Is it pretty similar to the footprint that was there? Or is it?
That one the one that's currently there, that is probably more like a 960,000 square foot. This is 1,400.
Okay.
So it is bigger than the existing home that's there.
And it's also deeper.
Yes. And so when I start looking at these plans, I first determine the building pad, based off the lot width, the side setbacks, that's how wide I can go. Take a look at the depth of the lot. I believe it's a 100-foot lot. And then we have 25-foot setbacks, front and rear. And so I believe I could have gone a little bit deeper, but then they don't have a backyard at all. So we shortened that up too a little bit.
Now, it was my understanding on the east side, you purchased a few extra feet, and you're gonna be putting a retaining wall there as well, is that correct?
Yeah, so there is an existing retaining wall there.
Somewhere hidden?
Somewhere amongst the tree stumps and brush and weeds, there is a retaining wall there, and it looks like it's all flagstone. Is that what that was made out of years ago? So that will be removed. And so we're talking about doing that kind of in conjunction with the foundation going in, because my fear is if we put the house up and all of a sudden they have to bring more equipment back there to tear it out and put in a retaining wall, we might not have enough room for equipment. Safe spaces to work, because we do have these window wells here that stick out 3 feet. And so to get some equipment back here might be tough, so we'd like to probably get that in.
Retaining wall, are you gonna be using big equipment on that then to pull that out?
Probably,
That would be then one of those other ones we need to know about.
right. And so if we,
I'm just trying to get a whole picture so that we can have full communication that, let's not forget about the retaining wall and the noise for that. What date is that? Because like, you did a lovely job giving me the basics, but that would run within, if you're doing it before foundation, that would run within this time frame.
right.
So I don't want to miss any of that.
So if it's in that scheduling, we're okay, if I understand you. Well, it might, because it'd be different equipment coming in.
It could pop one day or another depending on weather. So as long as we can get the notice, like I said, for at least the, you're planning it this day, and then if there's changes, just a notice for, like I said, our wonderful community members.
Yeah. Eric, point man on the
Yeah,
communication.
so if we can just get that communication, then that'll really help.
Cool.
And I appreciate appreciate your flexibility, understanding that, but I enjoy quality of life too. I bet you we're done in about 5 minutes.
I started, I didn't finish before about the class times. So 8:05 to 9:50. And then it's 10 to, thank you, 10 to 11:45. And then afternoon class starts at 12:35 and they go to 2:15.
Okay, so if we could just put that in
Yep,
the initial,
got it.
then
Yep.
that'll be good for the
Okay.
community as well. And then, do you have small print copies of that, just so we can, hand them to anybody that is up and down that street when we're doing it? Because I have a feeling
I can
someone
bring,
asked.
yes, I can bring some over.
Okay, great,
Might not be tomorrow, but,
that's fine.
all right.
I'm busy.
All right.
And
Okay.
Candy, we should let that lady know about that wall deal there, anybody that can.
On the east side?
Yeah.
I think she knows.
She knows about it.
Yeah, she
Okay.
knows, she sold them the land.
About that existing wall?
Retaining wall? On the east side, I think he's talking about, does that,
New one going in.
yeah, I can let her know.
Oh, on the east side, okay.
Yeah, but see, that's part of our communication is Candy and I will make sure that we're talking to them and let them know as soon as we get, it all down.
Because there is a retaining wall on the west side as well.
Yeah,
I believe it's a wood
yeah,
Yeah,
one.
it is, it's small.
Yeah, it's pretty
and I
low.
don't know who owns that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what side of the property line that sits on. It shows on the certificate of survey, it's almost on the property line, but, that scale is so small, it's
Yeah.
hard to pick it up. And I believe that retaining wall looks like it's in good shape. I mean, it's a wood wall. I don't think there's something in there that we have to demo and replace. I think that one's good. We shouldn't have any issues with that either.
Did we
Right.
answer the questions, Jackie's questions? We got the
So-
driveway part.
Yep, we answered the driveway part, I can explain drainage and all of that to her, I hope, in a way that she understands it. Communication, we've discussed how we're gonna do communication.
Yep.
And that we'll obviously look at that for future things, how we can have transparency and communication.
Yep.
And, other than that, having notification, which was a huge thing, because her son's bedroom is the one right there.
Yep.
I think there's 2 bedrooms there. So it would be on the east side of the neighbor's house, that's where her autistic son's bedroom is. So, communicating these and times proactively, I think, are the solution to the other concerns ongoing, she said about quality of life. So, I think we got it. I think we have a good start. Am I missing anything?
Can you clarify what proactive means, like how much time do you need to?
Well, I think we've already
arrange
talked
their,
about, we're gonna get the scheduling as they know about it and put in the retaining wall schedule and things like that. If we have the working schedule, that's proactive.
So like at least weekly then,
About a week, I think that's more than fair.
is it better for Friday for the following week or Monday for that week?
Actually, if we do it on Fridays, well, wait, Candy, what days work better for you? I know,
I'm available. I'll be done with this little golf gig, so.
okay,
My little
I'm pretty
job.
flexible except for the weekend of the 25th. I have the new fallen firefighters right that we're starting. And no, we're not going through and torturing you again. Not till next year. Firefighter, yes. That's a new right.
No, I think Friday's good. Friday's good.
Fridays
Fridays
for
are good?
the next
Okay,
week.
the
All right.
Fridays are good for me, because then I can do it on Friday.
Oh, good job.
Is there
think there
anything
was-
you guys need from us in our community?
Just support.
I was gonna say, support, positivity.
Positivity.
This is gonna be huge for the
Doing my
neighborhood,
best.
and
So,
Just gotta be patient, it's not gonna be done overnight.
And maybe when we're done, we'll do a block party.
there is an open house.
Yeah, they do an open house with cookies and water. It's great.
More than that.
No, you see, I live there.
Your house.
Exactly, I live there. Cookie?
okay.
By the way, off subject, how long in advance do you need to apply for a permit to close the street?
I'm not
Oh, I got you, huh?
Ryan, you
Yeah,
know that?
right, that's not, exactly.
How far ahead did they do that with the?
National Night Out?
Yeah. Do you feel late in advance?
much time do you need? What,
Well, we're thinking
talking
about,
tomorrow?
no, we're talking Halloween.
Oh, yeah, you got plenty of time.
Okay. Halloween weekend. We're doing it.
Oh, are
You're all
you?
going up again. We're doing it.
Cool.
I would maybe talk to Lisa downstairs, or
Lisa or Cynthia.
Carrie might.
one of them would know.
You'll know what I'm talking about when you guys start. My neighbor and I have a competition every Halloween.
Okay.
But
So,
I didn't do it
so
last
just to make this formal, I'm gonna close the meeting.
Thank you, yes.
Then he can stop taping.
Wonderful.
So at this time, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Wong, second by Councilmember Peterson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So the meeting is closed. You can stop taping in the back there. I want to thank everybody here.